Care to put a first half grade on this, kind of a midterm exam after 41? What you like out of your guys? ABC?
Yeah, look, I'm not into that kind of stuff. You know, I'm really more about the present and what's next. You know, we have a very difficult game tomorrow against a team that's playing at a high level. It's very physical, so we'll have our hands full there. You know, I like our team. I like the progress that we've made. We've got to strive to continue to make more progress, and you know, it's an exciting time for Pacers basketball fans. You know, with the young team that's growing before their eyes.
We've seen this team early on struggle with closing out games. That hasn't been the case now as far as getting these comebacks, finishing games. Why is that? What's been the difference?
Well, we've had a pretty significant amount of growth. But you look around the league, there's going to be close games almost every night league-wide. And so if you're going to be successful, the margins are very slim. And you've got to develop a group of guys that trust each other closing games, that trust the pass, that help one another defensively, and do a lot of the little things, because the little things are the things that add up to wins. And winning in the NBA has never been more challenging.
See, Aaron's not dressed out today. TJ and Daniel are. What's up with each of those guys?
Aaron's been cleared to travel. He's got a non-COVID situation that you know, he'll be probably listed as questionable tomorrow. He did not practice today, so we'll see how he's doing tomorrow morning. But Tice and Kendall Brown are both cleared for light activity with the team. So they did some stuff today, and they've made continual progress. So I know that, you know, I don't know that there's any real set hard timetable on Tice's availability to play in a game, but you know, he's weeks, not months away. So that's good news. And Kendall's, you know, has made consistent progress, and the fact that he's clear to be on the court and do some things is a good sign.
So I guess you got the good news on TJ. After the game on Sunday, obviously it didn't look great when he had to come out. He come out of it fine, I guess. Did his evaluation come out?
He practiced today without issue, so he's okay. He got some kind of a stinger, and you know, got checked out yesterday. All the diagnostic stuff looked pretty good, and you know, he seemed to do well today.
The second unit has brought you guys back in a lot of games this year. How much of a luxury is that as a coach to know that when your first unit maybe kind of down and struggling, that you got these guys on the bench to come in and step up?
Yeah, our depth has got to be one of our calling cards for success, and we want to create a situation where, you know, there's a lot of accountability within the team. You know, the first group challenges the second group group challenges the first group, whether it's in practices, whether it's in games. And that's the way you really build something special. But I like our depth a lot, and we've got guys that have not been in the regular rotation that are ready. So you know, if it happens that Aaron can't play tomorrow night, you know, that's going to be next man up, and some dominoes are going to fall, and some other guys are going to have to be ready, which they will be.
You said at the start of the season, not just you, but just this organization, pretty low-key about expectations from this team. We wanted to be successful, but just it seemed like it was taking it one game at a time. Here you are, well over 500 right now. I'm a little surprised, but I mean, from a fan perspective, folks are surprised to see you guys play so well right now.
I mean, some good things have happened, but we've got to keep our eye on the ball. We've got to realize what has brought us some success, and the big thing is depth. You know, attention to detail to the little things that help teams win difficult games. We've had role players step up and have higher impact than expected in some cases. But now the challenge is to sustain. And you look at the schedule coming off in the next 4, 5, 6 games. I mean, they're all difficult. I mean, they're all just you're either going against superstars or teams that are top teams in the East or West. It's a lot, but we're a tight-knit group, and we've got to stay that way.
Jalen getting ready to take on a physical Knicks team. What's sort of the mindset heading into this game and the level of force that will be needed in this game?
Pretty much like Coach Carlisle said, going to hit first. This is like a playoff atmosphere type game, he said. And I mean, we all know it coming in. We played them in the preseason, played them once in the regular season so far. I believe once in the regular season. But we know what they're going to do. We know they're a hard physical team, and we just got to match it.
Really seen you bring a lot of force off the bench, and Aaron didn't practice, so potentially, whether you're starting the game or coming off the bench, does that affect your mindset at all?
No, I'm just going to do my job. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to rebound, I'm supposed to defend, supposed to block shots around the rim, and hit open shots when I have them, and that's what I'm going to do. I mean, that's the same mindset I have every game, and then play with force and energy, and making sure that my energy is there for the whole game.
You view rebounding as a big importance for you personally?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's one of my identities. Just trying to grab everything that comes off the board.
Jalen, real broad question. Why is this working so well with this group? Just why is this group gelled as well as it has this first half of the season?
I say it's because we're young. A lot of guys still, like I said, trying to find their identities in the league. And like you said, when you got a whole bunch of group of guys that's your age, you get to learn with them. At the age, everybody's learning at pretty much the same pace. Some learning faster than others. But I mean, pretty much we're all learning the game as one. And then obviously the camaraderie that we have. And I feel as though that one of our identities is that we love playing with each other, and that's something that you can see on the court because we have fun doing it. Everybody cherishes everybody's success, no matter if it's one guy one game and another guy the next. Everybody is just happy for each other.
Learning together like that, has that sped up the learning curve a little bit maybe? The progress has gone a little quicker than maybe we all expected?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, obviously, I say our oldest vet is James, so he drops a lot of wisdom on us. Then we got Miles and Buddy helping us here and there, and TJ. And then it's like the rest of the main group of guys is like around 22 and under, So, I mean, obviously the guys that with the vet, they got experience, but as the guys that's young, we still learning. We're picking their brains here and there, and they're helping us out along the way.
Some of the old guy wisdom you get from James. What stands out? What he talks about that really sticks with you?
Pretty much just be aggressive and assertive. He says that's one thing about my game that I kind of shy away from, is just being aggressive and just going out there and showing dominance and showing force. And that's just something I'm working on. I'm working on bringing it to every game and making sure that if finding ways to just help the team win.
You mentioned cheering for teammates when you're not in the game. How much have you enjoyed watching what Miles has done this season, the confidence he's playing with?
It's impeccable. Obviously last year when I got traded here, I didn't get to play with him. I mean, we probably got to practice against each other once, but I mean, I knew of Miles, and I know what he can do. We all know what he can do. So it's no shock him putting up 30 or 20 every night, or maybe 10. Not 20 is a little high, but 30, 10, and then 5 blocks. So I mean, like we know it. We don't. It's not a shock to us. But it's good seeing him having the year that he's having, and obviously him just getting to show the dominance.
There's a point I think Tony Brothers might have looked to the bench and said, you guys got to kind of keep it on the bench and not on the court. Is it tough when he has a block like he had there in the last minute?
I mean, obviously the rules has changed of how the bench standards now in the league. Some reps say we can stand up after 5 minutes, some say we can stand up after 3 minutes in the fourth. So, I mean, it's tough. But at the end of the day, we're going to jump up regardless. I mean, you might get a tech now for doing it, but who cares? It's a team tech, and it's for a good reason.
Speaking of Miles, Rick's talked a lot about the value he has as the big man in a small lineup. Obviously, you're in the same position in the second unit. What have you learned watching him specifically for how he does his job with the lineups you guys have now, and how you apply that to your position?
Pretty much he's just letting the game come to him, Miles not out there forcing anything. I mean, obviously we know the type of defensive presence that he has on the court. I mean, the whole league knows he's one of the best shot blockers in the world. And I just try to implement that with the second group, I mean, just trying to carry on his presence and just carry on that energy and that effort that he's bringing.
What the one thing that word that Rick used was traffic cop, basically in the back, just making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be. How do you think you're doing with that piece of it, just sort of keeping everybody aligned and making sure that everybody goes where they're supposed to go defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm doing a great job at it. I mean, obviously I feel as though that, like I said, I'm the defensive end of the second unit. Blocking shots around the rim, making sure that everybody's in there right, because I can see the whole court pretty much as the 5. So helping people direct them the spots and helping making sure that they're in the right rotation so that we can get stops and keep running.
Now that you're a month in with this second unit change, how do you feel like you've settled into that role in that lineup now that you're with it every day, every game?
I mean, I'm fine with it, you know. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just basketball, you know. There's a whole bunch of guys out there who's great at what they do, and me being able to help complement them and just give them that energy boost and that defensive presence on the rim, it helps a lot. And I feel as though, I mean, even if I was starting, even if I was coming off the bench, I was going to do the same thing regardless, you know. I mean, nothing's going to change, but it just trying to help out as best I can.
What's it like being in a lineup with Ben and the fearless way he plays, the way he attacks him? Have you ever seen a rookie like that who's so fearless and aggressive getting to the basket?
Yeah, I mean, Ben is a generational talent, you know. We all know it. Not many rookies get to come in the league and start to have the success that he has. You know, usually it takes some guys longer to get established like that. And Ben has already established himself as a guy that draws fouls, that is fearless on the court, that does everything that you need. And it's just impeccable seeing it, and I'm happy for him.
You just talked about how a young team can be good for other young players. Is that like someone asks a question that you also have, or a situation's talked through that everybody can learn from? What does that entail, having a bunch of young guys, and how that helps the rest of the young guys?
I just give different viewpoints, you know. A lot of people, everybody processes the game different. You know, some people process it at a technical level, some see it at like a base level. And just being able to hear all the different viewpoints, it allows you to add to your repertoire and just understand, like, oh, why did he see that, or how did he see that, or and give me your input on what you saw.
I wanted to ask Aaron and Tyrese about this at some point too. But being drafted in 2020 in November, how do you feel like the strangeness of the calendar since you got picked has altered your career at all, if any?
It was weird. I mean, obviously, you know, rookies usually when you come in, you get a summer league, you get training camp, and we didn't get none of that. I mean, obviously, we got like maybe a week and a half of training camp.
Not even that, right?
And I say this is literally the first full year of an NBA for us, you know. I mean, obviously, when we came in with no fans, we had protocols and all that things. But I mean, we getting adjusted to it now, you know. Everybody's hitting the ground running, you know. Aaron's having success, Ty's having success, I'm having success, and I feel as though that it was just a matter of time, you know, just getting our feet wet.
Does it almost make this feel like your rookie year a little bit, that you had a full off season and you know, there was a full crowd for every game? Does that kind of creep into your mind at all, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I always tell everybody this is my rookie season, even though it's not. You know, I mean, obviously, like I said, it's my first full season, and obviously playing wise, and then just being able to be on a winning team like this, you know, it's a miracle that everything happened for the way it happened.
Do you and Aaron and Ty ever talk about stuff like that, the weirdness of that path from 2020 to now?
No, not really. You know, I mean, it wasn't that much. It wasn't much weird of us because I mean, it was our first time. You know, it was something that we never experienced a real NBA season until now. But I mean, we don't really talk about it much, you know.
How was that bet for you? Did you learn through the ranks from watching somebody else?
Crazy. I had Pargo my rookie year, Gennaro Pargo, and like I said, he's still doing the same thing that he was doing when he was the old head and I was the young guy. You know, he's still playing ones, he playing one-on-ones, the practice player, you know, all the things. And then you get UD, I get to spend 5 years with a stint with UD, Udonis Haslam, and you know, he's the ultimate OG, you know, so me getting to learn from him and seeing things that he could do and still wasn't capable of doing them in a game because he didn't get his shot, you know. Same age, 35, I think, 36 when I was started there. So, you know, just to see his humility and to see how he let his pride go and his sacrifice for the greater good of the team.
How do you strike the right balance between, they talk about you being one of the funniest guy on the teams, but also, you know, the player picks up 2 fouls, you put your arm around him, and are coaching him up as well.
Yeah, you know, there's time to score, time to play, time not to, you know, like, got to make it light. But at the same time, we're here for a job, and we hold each other accountable. So however you want to hold someone accountable, it all matters on how it falls on them, the words fall on them. So some guys like to be yelled at, that turns them up. Some guys like to be one arm around the shoulder and talk to just one-on-one, and some guys just don't like to be talked to for a little bit, you know. So you guys just gotta know your personality, I guess.
You got young guys here though that are soaking this all up. What's it been like for you to see this group learn as much as they have in this first half?
Humbling. I'm honored. Like I said, these guys, the humility of these guys and the way they can be vulnerable enough to accept advice is top notch. I love being here. Regardless of whatever happens, you know, this opportunity and to be around this group of guys, the kind of guys that just work hard all the time. If you ever came in on an off day, you would thought we had practice for real.
You talked about knowing your personnel. It seems like that's one of the biggest things you do is just find a way to know and understand each guy on an individual level.
Right.
How do you do that? Like when you get to a new organization, I mean, how do you connect with each guy so you know what everybody
does? I feel like I'm not no clique person. I've never been like one to jump into a clique, you know.
So I feel like if you don't have that within the locker room, everybody can hold each other accountable, everybody can talk to one another, and no one takes it personal. They just understand it's business and we're trying to win. It gets way better, but when you have chirping from different sides and different people from the locker room, things like that, you know, it could affect you in the locker room, in the game, things like that. So I feel like we don't have any of that. And it just makes it easier to get to know everybody. You take everybody to eat dinner, you know what I mean? We do things as a team, not just 3 guys at once, 2 guys here, 3 guys, like we're always together.
Maybe to that point, you've been a part of so many different teams, and not every team has good on-court chemistry, good on and off. But what has made this team's chemistry so good?
I really think that we understand our roles. Everybody understands their role on this team. And everybody's work ethic is pronounced enough where we all respect somebody's decision in a game, regardless whether he wants to make a pass and it's a turnover, or he wants to shoot a shot and it's an air ball. We understand his work ethic and we respect his work ethic enough to, like, good shot, let's go, keep it moving, we got a job to do. So I think that's really what it is like these guys are comfortable with one another, and it just makes us go.
You've been around this league for some time. Whenever I talk to Pacers fans, just the pulse on this team, they always describe it as just fun team to watch. How much are you enjoying this moment with these guys?
Yeah, it's been great. I know not a lot of people expected us to be very good. I think we are either tied or surpassed our win total that they predicted for us. So I think that's just a testament to the guys we have in this locker room and the coaching staff we have, and credit to our front office too. I mean, bringing in and drafting Ben and Drew and Kendall, and we just got great guys here who, you know, we've said it all year, just everyone loves playing with one another and want to see each other succeed. And when you have that on top of the talent that we have, young talent, it's a good recipe for success.
I was asking Rick about the luxury that he has, the depth of this team, especially that second unit. What is your mindset when you guys go in? Because we've seen time and time again where you guys come in and you're trailing, by the time you're out, you got the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the job of the second unit is. You know, when the first unit doesn't really have it or isn't playing too well, it's our job to come in there and give us a boost, and vice versa. You know, last game, you know, we weren't great coming off the bench, but there's 82 games you're not going to play well all the time. But that job of the second unit is to provide energy and kind of hold down the fort till the first unit comes back and takes us home.
When you suffered the stinger, what did you initially think, and how good did it feel to know that it was just a stinger?
Yeah, I was in a lot of discomfort in the beginning. I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried, but you know, our training staff's phenomenal. They went back and kind of worked on it a little bit, and you know, eased my mind that, you know, it was stable, and then the MRI showed that, you know, nothing seriously wrong, just a stinger. Just got to play through what pain there is, and I missed enough games last year. I don't want to miss any more.
You know more than anyone what Miles maybe sacrificed with the last few years, and now the opportunity he's getting. How much are you enjoying what you see and just kind of appreciate the journey he's been on?
Yeah, I think we all are. He's been phenomenal, and he was phenomenal in years past, but I feel like the sacrifices that he made speaks volumes of what type of teammate and person Miles is, and was patient, and now finally is you know, playing that sole 5 role, and he's excelling. He's been phenomenal. He's always phenomenal on the defensive end, blocking shots. I think he's the best shot blocker in the league. But him rolling this year, and teams don't really know what to do, whether he's popping or rolling. It's made it difficult to scout us, and he's done a great job.
TJ, there have been a few games here lately where down the stretch you guys have been down 6-7 points in the fourth quarter. What are you seeing as it relates to the poise of this team, which would be impressive regardless, but with how young the team is especially?
Yeah, I mean, that it shows a lot of maturity. You know, you're down like that, and instead of just caving in and giving into it, you know, we're fighting back, and it's been remarkable. You know, at any point, you know, we've been down 10, you know, 15. Earlier in the year, we were down 20, I think, come storming back. I just think it shows the maturity of this team and how together we are.
It seems like right out of those timeouts sometimes that Rick calls too. I mean, there's instant improvement. That ATO works well. I guess not necessarily asking you to compare and contrast years, but what are those huddles, what are those environments like that kind of spawn that result?
Yeah, I mean, when Rick doesn't like what he sees, he's going to let us know. And guy 1 through 15, he doesn't care who you are. He's going to coach you the same. And I think that's what is the best thing about, this staff and with this group. When you see your head coach and, his assistants coaching everyone the same, you gain that trust, and you want to play for a guy like that, and we all love playing for him.
I think 8 of 10 since that loss to the Knicks. Do you view that as sort of a turning point, crossroads in this season? Maybe not just that game, but the stretch of games in that week.
Yeah, and I think there was some fuel to that fire after the Knicks game. Won't name any names, but there was some fuel to that fire that sparked our All-Star to come out and take us to the next level. And it started with Tyrese. He's been phenomenal.
Steve, apologies if you have already been asked, but Rick said the shoulder came through okay. Just how are you feeling, basically? What happened?
Yeah, I just think it was one of those weird plays where I just got hit in a bad spot, and a little worried in the beginning. It was really painful, but our training staff's awesome and worked on it. Said it was stable, and the MRI showed there's nothing seriously wrong. So just about really playing through the pain right now, knowing it's good, it's stable, and I said that I missed enough games last year. I can play through a little bit of pain.
Right. Do you still feel sore now, or did you get through today?
Yeah, there's moments, when you're bumping a defender or falling on the floor, which I do probably every other play, but just kind of get through it.
Right. Do you feel kind of fortunate? Like, is that one of those ones where you feel and you're like, oh man?
Yeah, like I said, I was pretty worried in the moment, and just very thankful, very blessed that it's nothing serious, and happy to get back out there.
What were you told?
Honestly, I think it's just like some swelling. I don't know, stinger, one of those. Just didn't feel like it, but once it calmed down, it's been fine. And, like I said, the training staff did phenomenal work, just getting me back there and treating it right away.
Did you need X-rays, MRIs, or did you kind of know, like, the day after or after treatment you were good?
Yeah, I did an MRI the next day, and they said it came back all good, just a little bit of swelling, nothing serious.
Tyrese, I think 5 games after that New York game, you'd won 4 or 5, and I asked you about whether that was a turning point. Now you've won 8 of 10. There's really been some sustained success in response to that week in that game.
Yeah, I thought that was just one of the games early in the year that we couldn't close the right way. I think it's just a lot of, like we talked about, it's a lot of conversations with the staff and with each other, how we can finish games better. Since then, we won a lot of clutch games, been a lot better down the stretch of games, and so that's important. So we're just trying to be better there.
What does that say about this team? Because early on we saw weren't able to close these games out, but now you're able to do that.
We're growing. I think experience is the best teacher. We lost some games early, won some clutch games early as well that have helped teach us how we can be better there. Last game against Charlotte, we closed the game the right way. So you're just learning every night and figuring it out that way.
Yeah, talking to a lot of fans, I mentioned to Rick Carlisle as well. The big thing I hear when they describe this team, just fun to watch. Mm-hmm. They see it. How's it been on the team? How much fun are you enjoying right now with this team?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of different guys stepping up. Obviously, there wasn't high expectations for us coming into the year, but everybody in this group, in this locker room, in this organization had a lot of belief in what we could do. So that's all we're really worried about. If we believe in each other, and we do that on a nightly basis. And basketball's fun. How can you not have fun coming out here? And winning's fun too, and we're doing that. So that's why it's fun.
Tyrese, in your first full season here, how do you feel like you've grown as a leader and been that guy to hold yourself and others accountable?
Yeah, I'm growing every day. Not only as a basketball player, as a human being. Getting older, more mature. Just being around different people. I've had some great teachers, some great leaders, some great mentors since I've gotten this league. So that's a big part of it. Every day is a growing experience in some way or another. Even if it's a bad day, I'm still learning from it. So that's the biggest thing, just taking every day as a learning experience and just trying to be a better person.
6 straight wins here at home. Is that something you guys took personally going into the season about taking care of business here in Indy?
I don't know if it was exactly a conversation or anything, but we know, you got to protect home court, especially in the NBA today. Your goal is to protect home court and perform well on the road. We've been able to do that so far. That's why our record looks the way it does. We've been blessed to have some great home stands early in the year. That's really helped us. So now we just got to be ready to succeed on the road and just keep being better and maintaining what we're doing at home.
What's the biggest thing that James brings to this mix to have a guy with experience like that and a different perspective than you young players have?
He's been awesome. He's been awesome. Just a great leader, a great mentor for our young guys. I think it was something that we talked about before the year started, before we had James, that we needed another older guy, a vet, to help to help this group, to help guys learn how to be professionals, myself included. I'm talking like I'm a vet or something, but just having him has been great for me as a motivator. Just as somebody who's been around other great players. He's around D Rose, around Kyrie, around KD, around Chris Bosh, around D Wade. He's been around great players, so he sees that in me, and having another guy who's been around other great players, seeing something like that in me, it makes me want to go harder. So just really excited that he's in our locker room.
Like him, you're a guy who likes to connect to teammates, to other players, to get to know them well. I mean, what have you seen him do? What impresses you about how he does that? I guess what have you learned as far as that's concerned about how to connect to your teammates and get to know them from seeing what he does?
He invests in everybody. Like, I'm not gonna be honest. Like, he just spends time with everybody, wants to get to know everybody. He bought me a Christmas present. Got me some Doc Martens. So like he knows I wear those. So he pays attention to that. Got me some Doc Martens. That's just something like I'm not thinking about right now. But he always takes time to do that. I know he got some presents when we played in Miami. He got some presents for the equipment staff over there. Those are guys who mean something to him. So he invests in people, and that's important. I think the best people that you get around the NBA, they invest in other people. So just who he is as a person, I think that's the best teacher.
When I asked TJ about the response to the Knicks game, he said our all-star led us, and there was maybe some extra motivation. Are you looking forward to going back to New York and showing everyone what a different team you are from that game?
Yes.
How do you guys maintain this energy level in the second half of the season? Because the grind is very different in the second 41 than the first 41.
I mean, we gotta be ready to go. We're young, so we don't want to hear no excuses about body. You can't practice, whatever it is. You hear treatment, do what you have to do, but be ready to go. We got a lot of guys who love playing basketball. It's the great part about being here. We got a lot of guys in this locker room who really want to play, want to compete on a nightly basis. So we understand if they're not playing, they're actually injured, can't perform. But we got a lot of guys who, are ready to play. They play hurt, whatever the case may be, they're ready to go. So, we're ready for the next 41.
Back to JJ's question about the Knicks. Give us your thoughts on this matchup coming up tomorrow.
It's exciting. Obviously, the history of Pacers-Knicks games. We're right with each other in standings. We've been neck and neck as the years went on. So, this game has a little bit more emphasis to it, especially due to standings. At the end of the year, we could probably be right next to each other. And that could determine who's in the play and who's not if we both maintain what we've been doing this year. So, this is a big game, and guys just got to be ready to go.